Okay, class, let's go ahead and do section 1, part 4. So we're going to review combining radicals. So first, let's say I have 3 root 2 plus 2 root 2, right? So the little check line sign looking thing is a radical. So we're going to look and see what we're doing. So we're adding these up. Are the inside numbers the same? Well, yes, 2 and 2 are the same. So then we're going to look at the numbers in the front. 3 plus 2 is going to give me 5. And the 2's stay the same when we're adding those up. So we're going to get 5 root 2. Looking at another one, let's say I had 2 root 7 plus 3 root 7. Right? Same thing. The 7's match. So we're going to do 2 plus 3, which would give me 5. Bring down that root of 7. Let's go ahead and number that number 1, number 2. Okay, now let's look at one that maybe doesn't match. So number 3. Let's say I had 4 root 3 plus 2 root 2, right? Well, the 3 and the 2's, they don't match, right? Can I simplify the 3 to be a 2? No, right? 2 times nothing would give us 3, right? There's no way that we can do that. So we're just gonna leave that as it is. We cannot do anything. All right, let's look at number 4. Now let's say that we have, let's see, 3 root 2 plus 4 root 8. So those are different numbers, but now I actually can simplify the 8 so that they would match. Let's do that. So we're going to bring down our 4. We're going to bring down that radical sign. But instead of 8, there's a 2 over here. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to plug in a 2 right there. 2 times something is going to give us 8. 2 times 4. And I can say, well, the square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to circle the 4. I'm going to bring it out as a 2. 2 times 4 would give us 8. Bring down that square root of 2. Now the 2's match. So 8 plus 3 would give me 11. Bring down the root of 2. There we go. All right, I'm going to give you one to do on your own. Number 5. Let's do 4 root 3 plus 3 root 12. Let's do that. All right, go ahead and take 2 minutes, do that one on your own, and then we'll come back and check. All right, let's see how you did. All right, so they're both not 3's, so we need to bring that 3 down. I'm going to use the 3 that's on the inside here, so 3. And 3 times something will give us the 12. 3 times 4. And then I'm going to take that 4 out, right? The square root of 4 is 2. 2 times the 3, so that 4 goes away. 2 times the 3 is 6. Bring down that root of 3 that we had. Now they match. 6 plus 4 gives me 10. Bring down our root 3. There we go. All right, now let's look at multiplying. All right, so we're gonna do 3 root 2 times 2 root 5. All right, so when we multiply, they don't have to be the same. We're gonna multiply the numbers in the front. We're gonna multiply the numbers on the inside. 3 times 2 gives me 6. Bring down our radical sign. 2 times 5 gives me 10. And then we're gonna say, can I simplify the 10? Well, factors of 10 are 10 and 1, and 2 and 5. None of those have a square root, so we cannot simplify it. That is our answer. Let's look at another one. Let's say I have 4 root 2 times 3 root 2? Well, 4 times 3 would give me 12. 2 times 2 would give me 4. Can I simplify the 4? Yes, I can, right? Because I can take the square root of it. So the square root of 4 comes out as a 2, and then the 4 goes away. And then 2 times 12 gives me 24. All right, let me give one to do on your own. Let's do 5 root 3 times 4 root 3. All right, take 2 minutes to try that one. All right, let's see how you did. 5 times 4 is going to give me 20. Bring down our radical sign. 3 times 3 gives me 9. Well, if 3 times 3 gives me 9, the square root of 9 would be 3. So we're going to circle the 9 and take it out as the square root of 9, which is 3. That 9 goes away. Now I'm left with 3 times 20. Well, 3 times 2 gives me 6, and then we're just going to bring down that 0. There we go. All right, now let's look back at exponents. So in the past, we've said that if I have anything to the 0, it's 1. So 9 to the 0 would be 1, right? 110 to 0 would be 1. So just make sure you remember that. Anything to the 0 is always 1. Also, we've said, well, let's call that number 10 just to keep it going. We'll do number 11 right here. Also, we've said that in order to get rid of the negative, we have to flip it around. So if I have, let's see, x to the negative 5, and I wanted you to get rid of the negative, we would put a 1 over it, and then we get x to the 5, right? The negative goes away if we turn it into a fraction. And it's the same thing for the reverse. So if I had 1 over x to the negative 5, that would just come around up here, and we would get x to the 5. So if I have a negative, I can put it down below a fraction to make the negative go away. If it's a negative on the bottom of a fraction, I can flip it up to make the negative go away. All right, so let's look at some of these. Number 13. All right, so let's do, let's say I have x to the 5 over x to the 3. All right, so, well, easy way to do that is, well, what's 5 minus 3? It's 2, right? So this is the same thing as x to the 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. These cancel out. It's the same thing as saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2, 3. 3 of them cancel out. I'm left with 2, which is x to the 2. All right, let's look at another way. This is the same thing as saying x to the 5 times x to the negative 3, right? Because if I move this to the top, this is what we would get. The positive will become a negative. And what's 5 minus 3? Well, it's 2, right? So it's again x to the 2. So a few different ways to solve that. Let's do one more together, and then I'll give you one on your own. So if I have x to the 6, y to the 3, and that is over x to the 2 and y to the 5. Right? So again, we can rewrite this as x to the 6 times x to the negative 2, y to the 3 times y to the negative 5, right? I'm just x to the 2, 2 becomes a negative if I move it up top. Y to the 5, 5 becomes a negative if I move it up top. And then what is 6 minus 2? Well, it's 4, right? So that turns into x to the 4. And then what is 3 minus 5? Well, that would be a negative 2, right? So that would be y to the negative 2. So x to the 4 times y to the negative 2. If the direction said I don't want any negative exponents, then we would write this as x to the 4, and we would move that negative down below to get rid of it, right? So x to the 4 over y to the 2. The negative goes away when we put it down there. All right, so let me give you one to do on your own. All right, so we're gonna do, let's do x to the 5, y to the 4, and we're gonna put that over x to the 3 and y to the 7. So go ahead and take 2 minutes and do that one on your own. I would like you to write it with no negative exponents, so you should be getting something probably similar to this one. All right, try that on 2 minutes and then we'll come check. All right, let's see how you did. So I got x to the 5. I'm gonna move that one up, x to the negative 3. Then I've got y to the 4, move that one up, y to the negative 7. Well, 5 minus 3 is 2, so we're gonna get x to the 2. 4 minus 7 is a negative 3, so we're gonna get y to the negative 3. Those are multiplying. But if I want to get rid of that negative, which is what I said, I didn't want any negative exponents, we should be getting a fraction like that. So that's equivalent to, I'm going to keep the x to the 2, but then the y to the negative 3 is going to go to the bottom. That's just a y to the 3. All right, I'm going to give you guys, 3 problems to do on your own. So the first one, we're going to do 2 root 5 plus 3 root 20. For the second one, I want you to do 4 root 6 times 3 root 6. And for the third one, I want you to do a to the 6, b to the 3, over a to the 3, b to the 5.